What's on the horizon with you? What do you look at? You've obviously, dipped your toe in so many different things and
Yeah.
learned so much out there. Is there anything now you're starting to look at or maybe even excited about as you continue to research and see the patterns of what life is about?
Yeah, there's so much that fascinates me. Actually, Stephen Kotler talks about this thing called the passion formula, which was the initial thing that got me into doing more performance coaching, which is finding five passions you have in the world or curiosities, and then coupling them with five things that you see wrong or that you want to fix with the world, and then seeing where those five intersect.
Mm,
And, you know, 3, 4 years ago when I did that, it was very different to today. But knowing what I know and going through, certifications in breath work and, most of the spirituality and this and the teachings and the people who are involved in this are women because it's coming through the feminine. It's the creativity, it's the flow, it's the allowing. The masculine is the structure, right? And so when I'm doing breathwork classes or when I'm going through these trainings, it's all women. And you get to learn something extremely powerful that I don't think enough men actually know how to do, which is hold space for a woman. But even more so, you get to understand the world of, or I should say, how women live in the world. And it's truly rooted in fear because the feminine has been repressed since the beginning of time. Because since the beginning of time, everything was based off of brute strength. So if I was stronger than you, then I controlled you. And today's the first time that we're now seeing that sort of duality kind of counterbalance and come back into phase where women are doing almost just as well as most men. And a lot of women are doing better than men. And they're having a problem dealing with living in the masculine, but also still being feminine. But they're also still in a perpetual state of fear. I remember I was talking to a woman and she was like, you don't understand what it's like to walk to a car. When I walk to a car in a parking lot, I have my keys out. I may have pepper spray. I'm constantly looking around. I'm looking to see if there's anybody in my car before I get into it because I'm always alert because I have to be as a woman. And, while I was going through, teacher training, which is, through Curtis's, his event to get certified, I've spoken it probably 2 or 3 times. And then I actually went through the training myself. And again, it's like 95% women. And there's an exercise that he does where, I don't want to talk too much about it, but we go into a cave and, it's a dark cave and we all have to spill out secrets that we probably wouldn't tell anybody. And, out of all of the secrets that are here, the things that people talk about, it all has to do with some sort of trauma from a male to a woman, to a female, right? Whether it's sexual trauma, a lot of the times it is, or it's just, physical abuse, mental abuse, whatever it may be. And so I started working with women after this. I got into relationship coaching. I got into love coaching with women because I understand the process and I also understand them at a very high level. I understand why they don't love, but I also understand how to help them find intimacy. I understand how to help them find the man that can give them that and what that man has to look like and what he has to do. And a lot of times we limit what we want or we devalue who we are because of the situations that we've gone through. And that's nothing to do with who it is that we truly are, but it comes down to our standards. It comes down to what we're willing to accept and not accept in our life. And a lot of people accept a lot of things because, like you said earlier, Casper, we don't want to be alone.
mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm in a relationship where I'm living with a guy and I don't want to be with him, but I'm afraid to let him go. Or I'm dating a guy that I know is not really my forever guy, but I have kids and he's good to my kids and they love him. Right. And so we create this, especially women, their mind is very complex. Men, we're very simple. We like straightforward. Women are going to shoot you 20 different ways. And you got to make things simple for them. And if you can make it simple, but you can help them get to the core root of why they're dealing with what they're dealing with. And a lot of times it has to do with the way they were brought up. Mm-hmm. Oh, my mother lied to me about my dad not being around. She hid that from me for 25 years. And so then I had to sneak behind her to go find my dad. Right. And then you're sneaking around in your relationship right now. So like all these things correlate. you get to see them play out. And for me, it's truly fascinating, but as well, it's a deep purpose for me to be able to help women and men. Right now it's women, but eventually I think it's going to stem out to men. I
Mhm.
just think that more men need to be ready to have these conversations, because we don't want to change until, our lady says, I want to break up, or I'm not happy, or, this isn't what it used to be. Now all of a sudden we want to change. We want to go to the gym, right? We want to get a better job, want to start, oh, okay, I'm gonna shave my face since you right? Since you don't like facial hair, right? We forget, right? Especially as men, we get broken up with, and now all of a sudden it's like, I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. I'm shredded. I'm on all these supplements and meditating. I'm doing all these things, but it's like when you get into the relationship, all of that stops. And as men, we have to understand that we're that container for women to thrive. And that container, the number one thing for a relationship to thrive outside of just communication for a man to a woman, is to be able to create a safe space.
Mm.
Because if she doesn't feel safe, she's going to create an excuse for why she doesn't feel safe. And she's never going to tell you, I don't feel safe. She's going to say, you're not making enough money. She's going to say, you're not giving me enough attention. She's going to say, you're spending too much time at work. When it's really none of those things, it's because you haven't created a safe space and you're not providing what she truly needs on an emotional level. So I try to peel back the layer for women, as well as, through content, and I'm going to be starting up a podcast in 2024, but giving that insight to men so that they understand how to be with a better woman, right? How to deal with, as men, we're attracted based on looks. That's what it comes down to. After looks, then we can get somewhere, right? But if it doesn't look right, we're not going to be there. You know what I mean? That just doesn't happen.
We
So
are
it's
still
like,
men at our core.
we're
Yes.
still men. We're still men, and women need to know that too, because there's too many women walking around here thinking that I can just be like this and attract the man that I want. And it's like, listen, you're beautiful, but you can't just, walk around and act like men with, you just wear sweats every day. That doesn't work. Men aren't going to find you attractive. And so just balancing out that dynamic between men and women is really the passion for me. And, we'll see where it goes. I'm just
Yeah.
excited to be able to live in this vein.
Oh, absolutely. And it is that yin and yang. It is the balance of life. Everything has the feminine and the masculine, and it's required of both. You can't have too much of one or the other. That's sort of what we understand as this homeostasis of even health,
Mhm.
or the balancing of all these different energies. So it's great that you're working to find that balance and have people be their introspective sense and find that within themselves.